Have users manual. So a lot of people do matchmaking, but I always laugh when they do the kind of matchmaking that they do, because your user's manual is very key in understanding yourself. A lot of people have not fully understood themselves. They are manifesting pseudo personality. So how do they even know who they need? So your user's manual is like when you buy a new phone. It comes with a manual. What's the function of the manual? It helps you understand what's the phone all about. It helps you to understand frequently answered questions, the features of the phone, the capability of the phone, how to troubleshoot the phone, and all this kind of thing. A human being must be able to also create a user's manual for himself or herself, right? And a lot of people don't know. Once you create your user's manual, in fact, if you drop it carelessly and the guy looks at it, he may be able to tell you, this is the kind of guy I want, this is the kind of babe I want. Because, for example, beliefs assessment. If you are dating someone who believes that a woman is the only one who can cook, and you don't believe that, that's unequal yoke. You know, when believers or Christians or religious people, they quote, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. They think he's talking about Muslim Christians. No. An unbeliever is someone who doesn't believe what you believe. And once you keep that definition as simple as that, then you will know who you are not compatible with. Because intellectual compatibility and belief compatibility or culture compatibility is the most important thing in marriage. Once we don't align in our thinking, we don't believe the same thing, there is no deal at all. So what is happening in that relationship was they went into it with assumption, then reality began to show up, then she began to second guess herself. So that kind of a person needs someone to work with them, to run their personality assessment, to run the cultural compatibility test, and advise. Maybe it could also be that the guy's background is sabotaging his present life, because we are products of our upbringing, our environment, and our significant emotional experience. So oftentimes, the culture that produced him can come into his present relationship and begin to sabotage the relationship, because his culture has defined his beliefs, has defined his worldview. So when she begins to do something that contradicts his worldview, he's going to defend his own worldview. And maybe he doesn't also have the skills required to build a relationship. He might also be the lady who is saying things differently, you know. So it's important that we understand this, but it's not a one-word answer. I will need to troubleshoot what they are dealing with and be able to give a professional advice.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question was asked, how can you handle the husband that don't own up to mistakes? How do you...
Oh God. Okay, never forget that he didn't just grow up not to own up to mistakes. He was engineered not to own up to mistakes. And I'll tell you why. A typical upbringing of a boy child in Africa does not give room for the expression of emotion for the boy child. So if you have a boy and a girl and they are playing together and the girl falls down, we rush towards the girl and pick her up. We tell the boy, man up. Are you not a man? Be a man. So if all he has had all his life is be a man, which means we don't expect him to make mistakes. Men don't cry. Men don't expose themselves. So he will grow up into a monster that by the time he gets married, he has become unconsciously competent at having his way, that he has not even learned to say I'm sorry. He never saw his father say I'm sorry. So how does he learn to begin to say I'm sorry? I'll give you an example. My father did not hug me growing up, and I did not see him give my mother flowers or take her out. We never went for vacation except we are going to the village. I only saw my father hug my mom once a year, and usually it's when we cross over from 31st of December to January 4th. It's usually a 5 seconds, 10 seconds transaction. The next time you will see it is when it's in the following year. So how was I supposed to grow up to know how to give out flowers, to know how to take a lady out, to know how to kneel down and say, will you marry me, and all the drama or proposals that we do? So naturally, it was not in me. But I've had to learn over time, which is why no matter how bad your upbringing is, one quality you must always have is teachability. You must be teachable. But when you have a man who does not admit to mistake, a lot has gone wrong premaritally. So which means culture was not compatible, because culture compatibility would have shown that most likely that guy, if you ask him for his definition of a woman or a definition of a wife, He believes that his wife is just an addendum. His wife is just, a helpmate. His wife cannot rule him because he doesn't believe every attempt to correct him, he will think you are trying to rule him. So in that case, you need to now create a strategy since you're already married. In the sense that you now need to learn to find out. So if I'm working with that person in therapy, what I will do is to first of all articulate the personality of that man. Once I can articulate the personality of that man, then we'll begin to trace his mumu button. To now say, how do we get him to influence him without him knowing? A man is most vulnerable when he thinks he's in charge. So we need to deploy a subliminal way of influencing him without him knowing you have been influenced. So for example, if I want to get him to write a family vision, I'm not going to meet him and say, I attended Mr. Praise coaching and this every family must have a family vision. Let us sit down and do a family vision. He will not even listen to you. So you cannot go direct. You must bypass his conscious resistance. So what I would do, for example, is to go and say, sweetheart, I know you mean well for this family. If all your dreams for this family comes to pass, what will it look like? And he said, why are you asking? Because I want to obey you. I want to follow you. I want everyone to follow you. I know you mean well. So can you tell me, as he's talking, you are taking note? You will now go and articulate it and build it into a family vision and come and show him and say, is this what you mean? He will nod his head and say, yes, that's what I mean. Right? Not knowing that you have influenced him to get what you want. Right? So, for example, if you have a man who doesn't believe he should go to the kitchen, you can start by putting food on fire and say, sweetheart, please, can you help me check, right, this food, right? So while he's checking the food for you and you come back, you need to praise him excessively because you have married, what look for lack of a better word, you have married an Amadioa. So you need to pour libation. You need to worship him, kind of, right? Till you now begin to upgrade and upscale him to the level that he needs to be. But you need to know that you cannot change people on your terms. You need to change them on their terms, which means you need to stoop. It's a longer route, but it's doable with the right strategy. But what you need to understand is people do the best they can with what they know. So don't be upset. His family have engineered him to be like that, right? So you need to find out, how do we get the best out of this without necessarily offended? Because you need to protect your own wellness and your sanity at all times, or else you continually pick his fault. And once you pick his fault, you are not happy in the relationship. You will be emotionally divorced, on your route to becoming physically divorced, and that's not what you want. So you need to enjoy his best, magnify his strength, overlook his weaknesses, but help him.
Gynecologist, and I was wearing
subliminally to begin to overcome it.
They have a hint. I was really scared because I know that.
That's what I think the best you can.
Wow. These values are
These values are really, like, I'm really taking notes. I'm really learning.
Yeah.
I'm really learning. So, sir, based on what
shoulders and do 50 squats. Carry her on your shoulders and do 50 squats. Right now, your time is counting. Carry her on your shoulders and do 50 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're not bending down. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Move down, move down. It's a squat. Move down. Now, Theresa, one day completed. I need you to paint Iyke's nail, all 5 fingers. Get a nail polisher and paint his nails real quick. 45 seconds. 45 seconds. Nail polish. 35 seconds. Come on, you guys can do this. I really want you guys to win 100,000 naira. 29 seconds. 26 seconds. 15 seconds. You have to paint the 5. You have to paint the 10 finger nails. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up. I'm sorry. Your time is up.